guys, welcome back to my channel, Travel Along. So recently Man and I traveled from Vancouver to Delhi and Delhi to Vancouver via Air Canada. And in this video, I will show you everything you need to know about this travel, and especially in the pandemic, if you're traveling, then this video is very useful. Do watch till the end. Now I've also marked the video in chapters. So if you're traveling only from Vancouver to Delhi, you can watch the later part of the video. You're welcome. So let's get started. Number 1, tickets. So I booked 2 tickets from Vancouver to Delhi for 30th September 2020 via Air Canada. Now our bags are all packed up and we're gonna go to Delhi from Vancouver from Air Canada. Now, I know that it can be confusing to some people that how Air Canada is operating while India has banned international travel. Canada comes in an air bubble arrangement by Indian government. So I reassure you that Air Canada is fully operating and I recently traveled through Air Canada. Personally, I will not recommend you to go through Make My Trip or other travel agency as per se because of the pandemic. Every travel agency right now, the customer service is very shitty. Second thing is immigration. Are you allowed to travel to Delhi? Well, the Indian government says if you lie in the category such as person of origin or citizen of India, you are allowed to enter India. Thus, you can take a flight to Delhi. However, if you are a foreign resident and you are on a visitor visa, then I'm afraid that you are not allowed to enter India in the pandemic. Canadian government advises that avoid all non-essential travels during COVID-19. Now this is just an advisory, it's not against law. So if you hold an Indian passport like myself, you are definitely allowed to enter India. No one can question your entry. Documents to enter India. Now, to enter India, you need your passport, your ticket, and 2 additional documents. In this pandemic, it's required, actually mandatory, to fill up a self-declaration form. Now, once you book your ticket, what you do is you go to Air Suvidha website and you fill up the self-declaration form. To fill up this form, you will need your passport soft copy and your ticket information. So basically, self-declaration form is to be filled 72 hours before your departure, and it's just the COVID pre-screening questions which are like, do you have any symptoms of cold and cough or fever, that you are fine, fit and fine to travel. It's the self-declaration form which is mandatory to be filled. And once it's done, they will give you a PDF of that self-declaration form on your email address and a reference ID. Now, the 4th document which is needed is not mandatory, but you can still fill it if you are eligible. As you know, in India, it's mandatory to do a 7 days institutional quarantine followed by a 7 days home quarantine. So, to avoid that 7 days institutional quarantine, you can fill up an exemption form. You are eligible for this exemption form if you lie under these 5 categories. First, you are a pregnant woman. Second, someone suffered a death in the family. Third, you suffer or someone traveling with you suffer from a serious illness. Fourth, parents accompanied by children below 10 years. Fifth, you have a COVID-19 negative certificate done 72 hours before boarding the flight. To fill up the exemption form, you would need a JPEG or PDF format of your passport, which you already needed for the self-declaration, so that's there. And if you're pregnant, then you would need a doctor's certificate to show that you're pregnant. If you lie in the second category, which is someone suffered a death in the family, then you would need a death certificate or doctor's certificate. If you lie under suffering a serious illness, then you would need a medical certificate or doctor certificate. I would advise you to write a letter yourself and attach it in your application stating what kind of serious illness you are suffering from and how is it better for you to home quarantine instead of institutional quarantine. Fourth is if you're a parent of 10-year old or below, then you would just need a passport copy of your child. And fifth is just you have to do the COVID testing right before your flight, and then obviously you won't be getting the results so quick, so you would have to upload a COVID test awaited on the exemption form. Another tip is that sometimes you will get rejected for your application. It could be a simple misunderstanding as well. So you can apply again for an exempt. I had to apply twice. So once you've done the self-declaration and exemption form and you've got the approval, just get the PDF from your email. Just print it out for you to show when you are exiting the airport. They would need it just to make sure that they don't have to take you to a hotel, because the 7 days institution quarantine in Delhi is basically they will give you a list of options and you can choose in accordance to your convenience and budget, because you have to pay all the hotel expenses out of your own. They're not paying for it. Okay, so another tip is if you think that you're not eligible for an exempt and you don't come under any of these 5 categories, you can just simply go to Air Suvidha. You can book a COVID testing. It's for 5,000 rupees, I guess, and then you can just book it so that you don't have to wait for your appointment at the airport. It would take about 5 to 6 hours for the COVID tests results to come in, and then if it's negative, then you will go home. You still have to do the 14 days home quarantine, but you will be exempt from the 7 days institutional quarantine. So this will save you quite a lot of money. In addition to these documents, I also had to download the Arogya Setu app, which is mandatory in Delhi. Also, I downloaded the Air Suvidha app and Air Canada app, which is not necessary, but I would advise you to download it. Things I took to the airport. At the airport, it is mandatory to wear a cotton mask, and also in the flight, they won't give you face shields at the airport or in flight. So what I took with me to the airport were face masks. So I took a cotton mask, a blue disposable face mask on the top of it, and then at the top I was wearing a face shield. I was like a total cartoon, the dorkiest person on the airport. But anyways, I was the safest one too. The whole airport has hand sanitizers, and you will be given a cleanliness kit at Air Canada in flight as well with hand sanitizer, but everyone would be touching the same hand sanitizer pumps at the airport. So I advise you to take your own hand sanitizer with you. You can also take some hand sanitizing wipes. This would come in handy when you're sitting on the seat. You can clean the seat. Now, for my trip to Delhi, I regret not taking some cup noodles, Maggi cup noodles, because in Air Canada, they have started serving only cold food except for business class, which is so lame. On the day of flight, I booked an Uber for Vancouver International Airport, which is also known as YVR. I went to the airport 3 hours before departure. I was actually expecting a lot of crowd and lots of extra procedures due to COVID, which really didn't happen. So I could have gone like a little later as well. The airport was empty. It was very quiet. There were no queues. We just went in, and then there was Air Canada. There was a representative waiting for us to greet us. There was no queue at all. There was a machine for self-check-in where I scanned my passport, then scanned my ticket, and then I was able to select a window seat for myself. And I was able to make sure that there is no one sitting right beside us, so the seat beside us was empty. I was able to check in my baggage, which was very quick. And then immigration was pretty quick too. There's nothing much because we did fill out the Air Suvidha app's self-declaration and exemption form, so it's pretty quick. Someone actually asked me whether I filled it or not, a representative of Air Canada only, so I presume that if I wouldn't have filled it up, they would have helped me. I will put down some videos of how quiet the airport was and how the flight went. In the flight, I was given a blanket, a pillow, and a cleanliness kit with a water bottle, some hand sanitizers, and some pretzels, snacks, and some chocolates. And also, we were served some cold food with pasta, salad, fruits, and then again chocolate. And then we were given the usual drinks like hot water, juice, coke, I guess wine and beer. I never tried that, so that was there too. I cannot say this enough that it was mandatory to wear a mask throughout this flight. It was a 14 hours flight and we were wearing two masks and a shield. You have to remove the mask when you eat, obviously, but rest of the flight we were wearing the mask, and it was really hard to wear it for like 14 hours straight. So hard that after coming to Delhi for a week, Man actually had a red throat just because of the carbon dioxide going back in for 14 hours. It's really harsh for your health. Everyone in the flight was wearing mask, and if they were not wearing mask, if anyone was an exception, then the air hostess would actually go to their seat and tell them to wear mask at all times. And in the flight, there were announcements going on to wear mask at all times. Also, Air Canada from Delhi to Vancouver and Vancouver to Delhi is bilingual, so you would be hearing English as well as Punjabi throughout the flight.
आपकी जुबान पर हम अंग्रेजी, फ्रेंच, अरबी और पंजाबी हिंदी भाषा में आपका सेवा कर सकते हैं। धन्यवाद।
Some people wear their mask here. I don't know why. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me, but the air hostess was actually going and telling people not to wear their mask here, which was pretty funny. I mean, what's the point of wearing it here? Welcome to Delhi. Welcome to lots of air pollution and the most diverse and delicious cuisines in the world. In Delhi airport, you are given face shields. So face shields, basically, they have a tempered layer which you can remove. It was very funny. Some people were wearing it with the layer and weren't able to see quite a lot. There's a separate queue for exemption holders. I was out of the airport in like 35 minutes. I got my baggage pretty quickly. Immigration was quick as well because I'm an Indian passport holder, and yeah, everything was pretty fast. But beware, once you're outside and standing in front of arrivals gate, you will realize that not many people are doing social distancing outside the airport, as if like they're free and gone mad. Be careful, don't remove those masks just yet. So when I went outside, there he was, my dad was waiting outside arrivals gate to pick me up. Sorry guys, I had to bring in my laptop because my phone died and I was checking out some pointers to tell you in the video. So as I was saying, if a family member comes to pick you up at the airport at arrivals, then I would advise you to try to still maintain social distance and sit in the back seat and just go straight home, take a shower because you have been in a 14-hour flight with so many people. And it's hard to do the social distancing and you have to share the washrooms and some common areas. So go home, take a shower, and for the next 14 days try and maintain that social distancing. I know it's hard, but just try. Also, if you are one of those rebels who are not going to do the 14 days quarantine, then I would still advise you. When I went back home, I was taking vitamin C and zinc and not only I was taking it, I was giving it to my whole family and also to my helper and her kids as well. I also advised some of my friends who were about to meet me to take this just to give your immunity that extra boost. Also, taking hot water and steam after you go home for 14 days is not a bad idea either. Delhi to Vancouver. I booked a return flight to Vancouver and my flight to Vancouver was on 16th November by Air Canada. It was a return flight. But the ticket was for 16th of November, which was changed 1 month before my flight to 15th of November. I was given an email by Air Canada and it was also updated on my Air Canada app, which was installed in my phone, which I advise you to install as well. Immigration. If you are a permanent resident of Canada, Canadian citizen of Canada, or if you are an immediate family member traveling with the permanent resident or Canadian citizen, then you are eligible to travel to Canada smoothly. No problem. If you are an extended member of permanent resident or Canadian citizen, then you have quite a lot of documentations to take with you. As a permanent resident, I was allowed to enter Canada, and Mun is my real mom. So, Mun was allowed to enter Canada under immediate family members agreement. India, however, again said to avoid non-essential travels at all times. Now, this is just the advisory and not a law. And if you are a permanent resident, a citizen, or immediate family member traveling with the permanent resident or citizen, no one can question you to enter Canada. Documents needed. To enter Canada, I needed my PR card, my passport, and my ticket. However, Mun needed a birth certificate or any proof of our being immediate family members. So on my passport, under mother's name, there's Mun's name, so my passport was enough. 48 hours before your flight, you have to go online on ArriveCan website, or you can do it on your phone. Just install the app and fill out a self-declaration that you don't have any COVID-related symptoms, and also they will ask you where are you doing your 14 days quarantine. In Vancouver, you're not restricted to do institutional quarantine. You can do home quarantine where you can isolate yourself for at least 14 days. Now, besides the ArriveCan app and the normal documentations, you can also fill out the exempt form if you're eligible. So do check it out. If you're eligible, then you can fill. I personally didn't fill any exemption form for 14 days home quarantine in Vancouver, and right now I'm doing a home quarantine. Now, the government of Vancouver is quite a lot stricter than Delhi, to be honest. So if you don't do the 14 days home quarantine and you don't even have the exemption, then you are liable for a $1,000 fine and an or jail as well. And they call you. So they called me on my second day just to ask if I'm doing the home quarantine and how am I getting my groceries on the day of flight. So my dad dropped us at Indira Gandhi Airport Terminal 3 departures. There were so many people, and at the Air Canada booth just for check-in, it was a very long queue and it took us 1 hour to get our bags checked. Now, Air Canada allows us one 23 kg check-in bag each and one 10 kg cabin bag with additional handbag or backpack. But I took two check-in bags, 23 kg each. So I paid for one bag, which was about 5,500 rupees because I needed stuff. It's way much better option than FedEx, because FedEx for like 30 kgs charge you 25,000 rupees in INR, and then also you might have to pay customs on the top of it. And then there's so many restrictions, like you cannot take shampoo or you cannot take medicine. So it's way much cheaper. You can take anything and you're taking it with you, so it's much more safer as well. Also, on the day of my flight, I opened my Air Canada app and I checked in. So I was able to select a window seat and a seat where no one was sitting right beside us. So the seat beside us was empty this way through as well. You can also do it. You can just open Air Canada app on the day of your flight and get that seat selection option open up, and then you can select the window seat or whichever aisle seat you want for free. And then you can also make sure that no one is sitting right beside you at that time. Well, you don't know about the future, someone might come in and book that seat, but you can still try. We were lucky enough that no one came and sit right beside us, so we were feeling more safe. Now, immigration at the Delhi airport was pretty quick because we had all the documentation that I just talked about. However, the line in front of Air Canada was very long, but immigration was fine. It was quick. Some people were maintaining social distancing and wearing masks. Some people were wearing masks here and not really maintaining social distancing, but I would still advise you like the same we did. So I wore a cotton mask and then a blue mask and then a face shield at all times at the airport and as in the 14-hour flight. It was mandatory to wear a cotton mask in Air Canada flight, and also it was mandatory to wear any mask at the airport as well. Inside the flight. Now, flight from Delhi to Vancouver was same as from Vancouver to Delhi. The announcements were bilingual. There was Punjabi and English.
सब अपनी जगह पर बैठ जाएंगे.
We were given blanket, pillow, in-flight entertainment. The flight was for 14 hours direct. The service was good. We were given cold food. We brought Maggi noodles.
No, you have to wait 4 minutes to get Maggie ready.
And asked the air hostess to give us warm water so that we could enjoy some warm food in the flight. And we also took those masala Indian tea packs and got some hot water and were able to enjoy some Indian tea in the flight. Greenar masala tea. You can get it from Delhi. These are also available online. And there is a big pack of different flavors as well. So this is nice. You just have to add warm water and you can have masala chai. I would show you some more videos of the flight and what they provided us in the flight. They gave us hand sanitizers and mask and also some wipes. There was a cleanliness kit. There were water bottles in it, chocolates, pretzels, and the same stuff which was from Delhi to Vancouver. After 14-hour long flight, children crying, Punjabi announcements, and breathing in your own carbon dioxide, self-love of 14 hours. Welcome to Vancouver. Clean air and very dull weather. Yes, I left a sunny Vancouver and came to a very gloomy one because in November it's rainy season. It's been raining since 2 days. It gets dark at 4:30. Not so pretty Vancouver in November. So at the airport you will be taken to the immigration line, which is very short if you have listened to me and downloaded the ArriveCan app. Otherwise you will be thrown to the long queue in which you will be waiting like for 60 minutes if you just have that paper declaration. So I will again tell you to download the ArriveCan app before you board the flight and fill the self-declaration so that you don't have to wait at the airport. So Vancouver airport was very quiet and people were maintaining social distancing and wearing masks. The washrooms were exceptionally clean. The whole airport was exceptionally clean actually. And the immigration was quick. They had those custom declaration machines where you could check in your passport and then your ticket and then you can declare customs. It was really quick. It took like around 1 hour at the airport for us to go through immigration and get our baggage, because I think baggage took quite a lot time this time. I think it took like 20 minutes for our baggage to come on the belt, so that's why it took us longer at the airport. And immigration was quick. We had the proper documentations, and then I also called in an Uber, which came in like in a minute. So I booked extra large Uber just because we had too many bags. And then I went directly to my Airbnb, and I am here since then. The government of Canada has called me twice to ask whether I am doing the home quarantine or not. They send me emails every morning to fill in the self-declaration on ArriveCan app. So when you're doing the 14 days quarantine, you have to fill that you don't have any symptoms every day. I have also heard that they do surprise visits. There has not been any surprise visit yet. I'm not meeting anyone, I'm not going out. However, we are allowed to go in private spaces, so I'm allowed to go in my garden or backyard and sit and wait for sun to come out. And I'm using this app, Instacart app, for groceries. This is super nice. They also have 2-week trial, which gives me free home delivery, and I can choose any store I want. I can choose Walmart, Superstore, Canadian Store, Shoppers, Save on Foods, any store in Instacart, whichever I like, and I can get any kind of groceries, Indian groceries and dairy products, anything I want. So I got the vegetable, fruits and Indian groceries delivered to my home twice. It was easy. In my home quarantine, I'm trying to do some online work, watch Netflix, play cards, chess with Mun, and make videos for you. I try to light up a candle every day just to get rid of the gloominess of the day, and sit out. If there's any sun, then I sit out. Yeah, it's been a little bit difficult, but we can get through it. So that's it, guys. That's how I traveled from Vancouver to Delhi and Delhi to Vancouver in these past 2 months during the pandemic. And now I feel that I know quite a lot about these two routes and traveling during COVID in these routes. So if you have any questions, then don't feel shy. Just put that down in the comment section below. I will try to answer as quickly as possible. If you think the video was very nice and informative, give it a thumbs up. Put down a comment that you liked it. It would boost me to make more videos. Now, if you are thinking to make the same route, or you know someone who's traveling from Vancouver to Delhi and Delhi to Vancouver, then do share the video with them. And also, I wish you safe journey, and you should take all the precautions. If you are a rebel person who is not doing the 14 days quarantine or anything like that, then also I would suggest you to take the other precautions like wearing mask, social distancing, or taking vitamin zinc and vitamin C, and drinking lots of water and taking steam would be nice. Now, this is not just for yourself but also for family members, elders or children at your home. You could be asymptomatic and you won't even know it. So be careful, and also tell your family members to take those vitamins just to get the extra boost in immunity as well. Now, lastly, if you haven't subscribed to Travel Along yet, do subscribe. What are you waiting for? Subscribe now and hit that bell button. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that COVID ends very soon and you will be able to travel anxiety free. So till then, stay home, stay safe and keep on watching.